Today we're going to take this boring OSB wall and turn it into a modern, classy, beautiful showpiece. Okay, our first step is to put down our elastoshield membrane. We want to put down some tape on all of the seams before we do that, just to help prevent any additional movement along those seams, because that's usually where movement happens. Then we're going to put down our elastoshield, let it dry, and put down our microtopping. Okay, our elastoshield is dried. We're ready for our microtopping. We're going to use Surecrete's MicroTek 1 coat today in gray, and it's got a water requirement of 5 to 6 quarts. So we're going to first put 5 quarts in to the bottom of our bucket. And then we'll add our microtopping to our water and whip it up and see if we need to add a little bit more. So you want to make sure that you scrape the sides of the bucket really well, get all that dry material that might be on the sides of the bucket, as well as the bottom. Then after that, I usually like to let mine slake for about 5 to 10 minutes, and that just allows the dry polymers to activate. And then after that false set you'll get after those 5 to 10 minutes, I just whip it up again and you're good to go. Okay, so we've got our microtopping mixed up. It's a little bit thicker than normal. Consistency of like a really nice high-end peanut butter, so a peanut butter I've never seen. But all we're gonna do, we've got a little bit on the wall here, and I'm right-handed, so I'm gonna butter the trowel on this edge. Lay it down and bring it up. If you can have someone that's just buttering trowels for you, you can really start cooking with gas. Now I'm going from bottom to top so that gravity is working with us instead of against us. Chris Becker jumps in and joins us with a magic trowel to help smooth out some of those bumps and high spots that will get in the way of our next coat. I would recommend installing the trim after you do this, since it's been a giant pain. Now I'm taking a magic trowel and just smoothing out any of those goobies or any high spots so that the wall looks really nice. And you can see that the wall does look very nice. There are a few imperfections and things that we will hide with our next coat, which will be the Concrete Coatings MicroTek Smooth Grade. So like the one coat, the MicroTek Smooth Grade is a just add water product. We're just going to add 4 quarts of water to the bottom of our bucket because we want this to be really pretty thick. It normally takes about 8 quarts of water, however that's for a horizontal application and this is a vertical. So we want it to have some decent body. Okay, we're going to do a similar approach to how we put on the scratch coat or the first coat. We're just going to butter up Look at that. That's some good stuff right there. Butter up this trowel. Like butter. Again, I'm going bottom to top just for the sake of consistency. And again, that trim piece is really starting to get annoying. Now I am stopping and picking out little chunks that are getting stuck in the microtopping because this is such a fine microtopping that really any little piece of sand or chunk that comes off of the bucket or anything like that can really throw a wrench into what you're trying to do. Because the smooth grade is so fine and so thin, it dries very, very quickly. Okay, we're gonna put a second coat down. This looks really cool, but we want a little bit more movement in it. We've retempered our microtopping. And instead of just going the same way, we're gonna come and do a different way, different direction. Just turn it 90 degrees, 45 degrees, whatever you wanna do. We're just gonna come at it at a different angle to get some different movements. One of my favorite things about the smooth grade is that when you're applying it over itself, it seems to go forever. You can get 400, 600, 800 square feet per bag, and you can see that it's going a lot quicker than when I was putting it over the one coat. I also like to go back over things that have started to set up or dry a little bit, just to give them a good burnish, and that adds a little bit of depth and movement to what we're trying to accomplish. Just like to put in another plug for putting up the trim after you do this process, since it has become the bane of my existence. You can see that this process really isn't that difficult, especially if you've used microtoppings before. And with a little bit of practice and adding a few more textures, you can give your client a space that is just absolutely amazing, and you can charge accordingly.